What's in this cave down here?
NFS tells people not to go too far in there. It's pretty dangerous. You're in it, aren't you?
It doesn't seem that dangerous. Whoa, whoa! Ah, no!
Henry!
Seriously, it's completely fine in here.
Damn it.
Well, hello and welcome to a Hot Chips Year Now review of Firewatch.
Oh.
Very exciting. So, Firewatch.
What is Firewatch?
Campo Santo's first game.
Yes.
Yeah, not bad for a first attempt, yeah?
Yeah.
First-person adventure.
Yeah, well, I guess that's the perfect genre for it, right? It's a story-driven first-person adventure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
No
agree.
guns.
No guns.
No attacking.
No weapons.
It's not actually.
Well, there's a
adventure.
weapon, but you just don't... An axe is a weapon or a
Throw
tool,
the
depending on
rocks
how...
at the gate!
Yeah, you can, pick up toilet paper and cans
You
and
can.
sort
That's
of
true.
lob it.
Yeah, you can. Actually, I kind of found it frustrating that you could pick things up and not put them back where they were.
can.
Can you?
Yeah, there's like a put back. If you look at the right spot, it turns to, instead of drop, it changes to
Oh,
put
I was
back.
just throwing shit everywhere. I had books all over the ground.
Yeah, all my books were
Oh,
nicely
no, that was
lined
great.
up.
I tidied up.
Yeah,
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my place was a mess.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And that's Firewatch, so
What?
like and subscribe. Oh, what?
not done.
Oh, right, okay.
Not done. So this Campo Santo team, I'd just like to spend a second talking about their awesomeness.
No.
So most of the team have amazing development backgrounds, lots of them having worked on the Walking Dead games, and Tales of Monkey Island, and Gone Home.
Oh, right, nice.
Some pretty fantastic credentials.
It's a lot of
I
ex-Telltale guys.
feel. A lot of ex-Telltale guys.
Cool.
And one of my favourite graphic designers, of course, Ollie Moss, who he worked for Lucasfilm.
Oh,
and,
cool.
And Studio Ghibli.
Oh, nice. All
So
right.
this game for me had a lot of, oh my god, hype. Hype.
Because
is
of the
correct
people
word.
working on it?
Because of the people
Right,
working
yeah.
on it.
And that's a good
because
reason to
of,
get hyped.
the things I had seen about it, I'm so sucked in by visuals. Just a lot of hype around this for me. So we'll the usual format.
We need a timer.
We do need a timer.
Okay.
The usual format for our year now reviews is that we each get 30 seconds
Yeah.
to quickly tell you what we thought of the game, and then we'll give it a final year or nah. And so these 30 seconds will be spoiler free. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairly enough.
And then after that, we'll go into a little bit more depth and tell you what we thought about the game in a spoiler frenzy.
The spoilerific.
We'll start with you, I reckon, Amy.
Do
You're
you
the most
reckon?
passionate about this, I think.
I think.
So
I think
start
I
on a
might
high
be.
note.
I think I might be. I hope that I don't go over my 30 seconds.
Okay.
I've got notes.
All right, Anne, you're on.
Okay, so the game has been called mundane. However, I like to say relaxing, meditative, and tranquil. The world was stylized and beautiful, and it had a really different art style, but I still felt like the world was real. I thought that the navigation mechanics were compelling. The lack of a constant waypointer was refreshing to me, and I'm a huge fan of the game being no real way to kind of be wrong or right.
4 more seconds.
I don't need 4 more seconds.
Okay.
That is probably the first time we've been
Yeah.
inside the limits.
Yeah.
I planned good.
I'm going to
Alright.
go way over.
All right, Theo,
I'll be chopped off. I'll have to extend it.
go.
We're live. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's a great game. I love it. I think there's a lot that it does that is very unconventional in terms of game mechanics, and it confuses the player. It does a lot more with your emotions than it does with the story or the game, which is interesting. It uses those mechanics to play with your emotions. That kind of annoys me because it doesn't give it that replayability. And I don't agree. I believe it's a bit tedious, actually, getting around and doing that kind of stuff. But I like the tranquil... Ah! Oh, no, I love it! Yeah, see, I didn't... Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You could have had my 4 seconds. I could have done it.
Could
Indeed.
have probably done that.
All right, you
Got
ready?
4 more seconds.
I'll time it. Are you ready?
I am
Set.
ready.
Give it to us.
Beautiful looking game. I love narrated, sort of narratives. So I love story-driven games, and I think the story within the game was amazing. I thought the relationships that they grew between the limited characters that you came across were fantastic. They had huge amounts of depth, especially the main character, which really, as a faceless nobody, his background and stuff was great. So great graphics, great story, but there was a little something that needed to be done.
A little
Da-ding.
something that needed to be done.
Little bit something more.
A little bit something. So before we go into our sort of breakdown, are we going to give it our year now?
Yeah, we should give it our year now.
All right.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Hell yeah!
And Reagan gives it a 9.
Whoa!
I'm giving it a 9.
Whoa!
You gave it
giving
a... So
it a
you would say to
9.
someone, don't play this game.
I would say a sequel would be better. There was so. Can I go into my now?
Yeah.
Since it seems to be the
Okay,
opposing.
so this is where the spoiler-free
Spoiler
section
fix.
of the video
Haven't played the
is.
game.
Yeah.
If you have not played,
Play it
and
before
you
you
are
go
going
on.
to play,
Yeah.
mute us and just look at our beautiful faces. But watch to the end.
Maybe
That's
crop
good
me
for our
out. I don't
stats.
know. So I don't know. There was for a 4-hour game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they went into the development cycle saying we want to have a 4-hour experience. What can we do and wrap up within 4 hours?
Do you?
The start was so nicely paced in a nice slow manner where you're just reading the story. It took, I don't know, maybe like 15, maybe 10 minutes, I guess, to make the decisions and go through
No,
Hank's,
it didn't.
Hank's
It
backstory.
wasn't 10 minutes, was it?
Maybe 5-10 minutes.
5 minutes, maybe.
You reckon 5?
Yeah.
But it was just a nice slow pace.
nice.
You know, just there's nothing going on. You're just reading this stuff.
Yeah.
You're making a couple of options.
That caught me off
along
guard,
that
actually,
caught me
yeah.
off guard as well.
It was good though.
And I'm like, I want like realistically, it's probably not going to change anyone's experience with the full game, except for maybe a couple of references that are made along the way.
I kind of call them the hooks.
Yeah.
The things that make you have your experience.
Yeah.
Right?
And it really set who Hank was. And then again, so I love the start, and I love the introduction of Dee and their relationship growing over the days as he's in there as a guy member of the Firewatch. But then the other things started happening, like the girls showed up and they... did you guys throw their radio into the lake?
I took it with me for a while.
I didn't do anything to the radio.
I was like, because the girls are out there and their music's playing, and I just ended up picking it up and walking to the river and just throwing it in. They're like, hey, what are you doing, motherfucker?
Really?
It was great.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
no.
awesome.
You can take it back to your camping,
Which is cool
thing.
as well.
It's really cool. It gets annoying though. You play the music all the way down.
I feel like you guys have this like weird mindset where you try and do
Mess with
things in the
things, yeah.
game that are not what they're really wanting you to do. Whereas I'm like,
correct things
I'm
for it.
gonna make this story happen.
No,
The
it's
thing
really
is, I felt like I was doing something that I was not meant to be doing.
Right.
But the reactions of my character, the girls, and even Dee all made it feel like, I was actually meant to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
It was done
In a
really
way,
well.
yeah.
Okay.
So they did that part great. They did the fact that he was starting to get messed with. And I was certain it was the girls. And then you saw this other character that was shining a light in you. And I was like, oh man, it's getting to this really mystical, not mystical, but mysterious kind of what is actually going on. And they wrap everything up in the most bland way.
I've got a theory about that.
You just get a radio call. Oh, the girls
You're
have
right,
found
yeah.
they're okay. And then I like the story about the young Boy Scout or whatever with his father, and I appreciate all of it, but it just didn't go where I wanted it to go.
Where did you want it to go?
I wanted.
If you tell me a government spying subplot, I'm going to kill you.
I wanted there to be more of a threat.
Yeah,
Right.
put it this way: he's knocked you out.
Yeah.
He's screwed with you. He's monitored your call. He's done loads of
Yeah.
crazy stuff, and then he's just like, "Oh no, just not going to do it anymore."
Yeah, I'm
That
just not going to
makes
do
no
it.
sense.
Go
Yeah.
up there, you'll find all the answers, and it's done.
Yeah.
And that left a really sour note for the lead up to the end.
Did you read all of the things in Ned's
Yeah.
cave?
Yeah,
You did?
yeah.
Because I just feel like maybe I just have low standards, but I was quite satisfied that Ned was a man who was really broken.
Yeah, and that's
was,
cool.
yeah.
I liked the
Yeah.
cave and where he
That is
was,
beautiful.
but it needed to come another 4 hours later after he'd been really messed with. And he actually felt like there was a threat to him, and that he managed to overcome Ned instead of Ned just going, "Oh, you know what? I'm not going to mess with you anymore."
Right.
Yeah.
And then to the final lead up, and I'm assuming it was the same for everybody, where you finally you tell Dee to wait or to hold up, and she's gone by the end, and she's
Bastard.
and it's just kind of like the way that I understand why they made Dee make that decision, because she's like, look, you're still married and you need to go look after your wife, and that's fine. But again, it's really unsatisfying. Like, I kind of was hoping his wife was too far gone, and this was his way to start afresh
Right.
and release
Yeah.
those ties,
Yeah.
and try and start a new life. And because they were building this really nice relationship between them,
Yes.
just for it to disappear.
But I
And I
think
feel the
that's
same.
the
They
point.
built this thing with him and Ned, with the spying and all that tracking, and then just let it go.
I think that was the point as well. I've got a theory time coming here.
I think
Theory
cool.
time.
So in the end,
Yeah.
it's kind of like it was a good price, looked fantastic, the narrative was great, but just the way they wrapped up everything it was not satisfying. It just wasn't satisfying for me.
I feel like this may make you a little bit happier about the story.
Yeah. So let's hear from
It's
you.
all speculation.
Sure.
I only got a few things to back it up, but I think Delilah planted all of that stuff that you found at the end that wrapped everything up immediately and just left you cold. Dead
In
water.
Ned's cave.
Yeah, and the girls being found as well. I just think it all was very tightly wrapped up. I think and this is the only reason I think this is because of the conversation that you overheard, and like either she's working with Ned and something happened there, or like, and that could be possible. Like they planted that together to get him off, or like stop the main character asking questions.
Because that was an interesting radio conversation you overheard, right?
And that never came up again,
Yeah.
and it was never questioned again, and it was never tied up. And I feel like that was very, very key to figuring out, like, I feel like Delilah's done something here, and it's too circumstantial, and that's, I feel like, supposed to be the point. It wraps up too good. We're all supposed to feel like something's not right, and it isn't.
Yeah. Did you question her about the conversation?
I did.
I did, yeah.
See, I didn't.
Oh.
was
That was
kinda
the
like,
only
I want
time.
to get in on this.
She did. That's the only time she
Yeah.
got mad at me, and
Really?
I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh,"
And then
and
she
I
comes
felt
back,
really,
she's like,
I felt really sad. I didn't want to upset her after that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. So there could have been. So if that is right, if there is something more there, then again they drop the ball in bringing it back in later on.
Yeah.
So it's
Either
really-
that, or they just want to keep you guessing to the end. But I feel like it isn't
Maybe.
enough. You're like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
but it does leave room open for
Sure.
a potential spiritual successor. I don't think you could make
I don't
a
think you could.
Firewatch
I
2,
don't think so,
but
no.
you might be able to make, I don't know, Campo Santos.
Yeah.
Firewatch
Something
remake. I don't know,
else, yeah.
I don't know, different story, different kind of scene.
Yeah.
setting.
I
Maybe
find it-
criminal
yeah.
investigation game. I don't know.
I find it interesting that you say you were disappointed in the ending,
Yeah.
or that it wasn't what you wanted it to be. Because I felt like the ending really showed a lot of restraint. I kind of felt like it was almost beautiful because of the way it was exactly how probably things would have happened in real life. Like, I think it was disappointing in the way that life is disappointing.
Which is a lot of the point
Which
of
is
the
like
game,
what
yeah.
they were trying to say, right? It's like this break through summer that's, you know, an escape from real life, and then it's always going to end, and he was always going to have to go back to his wife, obviously. And so they wanted you to feel that disappointment. Like, I think that was the intention, personally.
Do you guys remember the trailers leading up to it and all the kind of speculation and things?
Didn't watch a single
No,
trailer.
I never really watched any of the trailers.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
I got into quite a few of them. I heard a lot of the conversations between Delilah and the main character.
Right.
He has
Right.
a name, doesn't he?
Hank.
Hey,
Henry.
Henry. I prefer Hank.
Yeah. She's a Delilah gal. Henry. So throughout the trailers and things, you got a sense that Henry, you wouldn't know who Henry was, which is why I got really caught off guard at the very beginning. And I would have thought that it would have been a better idea to take a lot of those questions and leave. Take a lot of those questions and scatter them around the game rather than have them all up front at the beginning so that we had to guess who Hank was. And I think that would have been a lot more fun and sort of grabbed people a lot more. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
I do understand where you're coming from with like the morbid reality that is life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I guess my question is that's fine, and like Gone Home has that kind of
Yes.
quiet tone as well. So why add mystery if
Yeah,
you're not going to
I
do
know.
anything with the mystery?
I know.
And that's the thing. They've gone in one direction and then given you an opposite ending. If that all had lined up to this really peaceful, well, not peaceful, but a really very realistic look at what's going on. It's all about the relationship and what's going on there.
Yeah.
Then I probably would have loved it. But it's because they offered something, and my brain went, "Oh, what's this going to be?"
What's it gonna be?
And then it was nothing.
Yeah, whereas I think my brain went, oh, what's it going to be? And it was like on the pinnacle, like,
Yeah.
for me, between being too scary and being like real life.
Yeah.
Where I was happy that it was nothing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
this
You
is
had
great.
nothing to worry about. They
Yeah.
obviously couldn't render faces in the game. No, that wasn't designed to happen. I know. We never got to do the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, that was fine. What did you guys think of the map and the
I
use of
did-
the compass
yeah.
and there being no?
That was very cool. I loved it. I
Yeah.
did love it. You definitely have to listen to instructions and sort of figure out what's going on in case you get lost, which I did do. It was very hard to do.
It wasn't.
But
I didn't get lost.
Yeah, because I was doing a playthrough for my girlfriend in Melbourne actually, and sending her the video files, and so I was quite distracted and talking to myself and trying to make it a little bit more entertaining. And so I missed a few dialogues. I actually missed a few replies as well, and Delilah would come back and be like, "Well, okay."
Yeah, because
I was like, whoops.
that counts countdown to talk to her was a really interesting mechanic.
yeah.
And did you guys notice that often actually it wouldn't get the whole way down before she would dismiss you?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I
So
didn't notice
yeah,
that.
sometimes if you just took too long, she'd be like, "Well, fine."
Yeah.
I really liked their mechanic there. I thought that was a really
thought it
cool
was great.
mechanic.
I thought it was
Do you guys
awesome.
play with controllers or mouse keyboard?
Mouse and keyboard.
Because the controller was
It was
kind
good.
of cool having that.
I would have liked to.
loved
My
it.
360 controller's down.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'll get
I
back there.
loved
Rocket
it.
League, come on.
Yeah, I thought it was just.
Oh, that's cool.
brilliant.
Controller.
I suck
can
at
see how it
maps.
would work.
Like I suck at maps.
And it was a decent sized map for the kind of game it was, especially when you're kind of like,
It was tiny, but the topographical
And
stuff,
it's also the fact that you're not really ever moving at a really fast pace either.
Yeah,
So all
yeah.
of a sudden you've got to go to one thing, do something, and then make
Yeah.
your way back. And later on that just cuts it off and you go to another day in the story.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do actually just have to make the trek.
Yeah.
And you're just taking in the environment, and it's a beautiful environment.
Yeah.
And I think my only issue with the map was the just bringing it up and looking where it was. It was just other games have just done that one thing a little bit better.
Right.
It was still cool, and I love having that physicality instead of like a UI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the lack of waypointer. That was my
Yes,
favorite
yeah,
thing. I
yeah.
just thought that, I've got lots to say about the
And
UI.
you still got lost and broke the game.
I did. I did get lost and broke. So yeah, I did encounter a game-breaking bug where I was being sent somewhere and I had like just in my head, because I'm terrible at using the map, I like know where stuff was in actuality and would just go the way I knew rather than looking at the map. And I tried to go to where she was telling me to go via an area that actually wasn't populated yet. And I kind of got stuck in a bush and fell down a cliff. And then I was in an area that had no graphics.
Nice.
And I just fell forever and ever and ever and ever.
That's how you die.
And
You can't die in the
then
game,
I
so-
couldn't like load with a save, would just load at the same point and I'd just fall. And,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Did you have to
So
restart?
I had to restart. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's a bit
Yeah, it was
that's a bummer.
game breaking. But that's okay. Luckily I was not mad about that because there are games where I would have just been like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
screw this.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the tedious kind of going across the map. Not necessarily tedious. Like I agree with you. Like the world they've built and the graphics they've built and the sound engineering in that game is amazing. Like
Except for
getting
the
the
lack
real,
of nature.
Yeah. There's no there's no
That was the
birds
one thing.
or anything.
Yeah.
One thing that really annoyed me was there was no real birds or anything.
So that's great. Like walking through the world, it's good to feel that. But I felt that there wasn't much of a purpose to that. Like I would have liked if they ended a day to get to a different area instead, because the way that they used space between the areas before that was conversations between you and Delilah.
Right.
And it's like when they had spaces with no conversation, I felt like there was no
That
point
was
to
your
those
time
spaces.
to take photos, Theo.
There was, yeah. And I started taking photos, and then I was like, what if I need this? What if you'd gotten to the end of the game, you'd gotten to Ned's place,
right.
and you couldn't take any photos? What would go wrong?
Yeah, that would be sad.
Oh, well, I think that kind of wraps it all up.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's a no.
It's a yes from
Oh,
us.
sorry. Yeah, I think two out of three
It's a
yeses
yes
means it's
from the
probably
majority
probably going to be
rules.
worth your time, but it may not be for everyone. I think
Probably worth your time at 4
Yeah.
hours long. Let's
and
be
it's
honest.
a nice price.
It's a lovely price. And also get the PlayStation theme if you have a PlayStation.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
The theme is amazing. Highly recommend. If you have played, let us know what you thought. If you
Have any theories?
have thoughts,
Yeah.
about why the game was disappointing or not, let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching.
Somebody cut the comms.
What?
I'm out here and the wire is cut clean through.
Wait, you're already there? You're not in your tower?
No, I'm not.
Then who is?